Fellow entrepreneurs, welcome to Sink or Swim. My name is Bill Badran.
Hi guys, I'm Paul Constantinescu.
And today we're going to talk about the 5 ways you as a person could be more charismatic in business.
Enjoy.
So I bet you $1 million you clicked on this video wondering to yourself, why the hell are these guys even talking about charisma? But I want you to take a little rewind and think about that one time where you met someone that was the most memorable person that you've met. It could also be someone that's in your circle. It could also be someone that you work with that you just feel is people are much more drawn to that person.
Yeah.
Sometimes if we look at superstars on TV or singers that do concerts or whatever it may be, there's always that star that everybody's drawn to. So what do all these people that I just mentioned have in common? And yes, they all have charisma. It's a form of energy that you let out that people get to feel like they're drawn to you. People trust you. Your suppliers want to do business with you. People want to be around you. And suddenly you'll find that your business will succeed more if you're charismatic. I mean, it is extremely important. Now, the debate would be is, are you born with charisma or is it something that you develop?
What do you think?
I personally believe that charisma is something that you could develop. There are people who are born with it, just like a beautiful voice. But you can also train a voice. Just like charisma, there are things that you can look out for in your day-to-day that can improve your charisma and make you much more appealing to the rest and your counterparties. Let's take a look at one thing that can make you much more charismatic in today's world.
The first thing you can do to be more charismatic, it's the simplest thing you can do. And it's simply smile and be positive. In today's world, being a positive person goes a long way. It can open many doors and that positivity gets rubbed off to other people.
So let's take an example of a person that you may know, and there's always that one person in your circle that when you just see them, you feel like there's a dark cloud hanging over them and all they have to say is complaints and what's going on that's wrong in life.
Yeah.
You don't want to be surrounding yourself with people like this, and you definitely don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
Because as an entrepreneur, we call it in French mode solution, which means solution mode.
Yeah.
You are someone that's always looking at the glass half full. You're always finding ways to better things and to progress things by being positive. When you're in business, 100 things can go wrong, and your journey as an entrepreneur is not the same as the other person. You might go through different problems, and you always want to make sure that you come up on top with a positive attitude. When you're someone that's positive, people are much more drawn to you and come to you for a lot of, they come to you for advice, because they know they're gonna get the positive outlook instead of you being like, oh man, you know what? You're a deep shit. You want someone that's gonna tell you, that's gonna up your morale, right?
Yeah.
So make sure you're that person and not that person that nags, because people might not know why you're negative, but they'll just feel it and they don't want to be surrounded by you.
I understand why it's like entrepreneurs, we go through good times, we go through bad times, terrible times. It's not always easy. So I understand sometimes it's hard to always be positive. I'm not saying to be a robot and always smile like a crazy person, but I'm talking about the overall mindset of being a solution provider and being a positive person. That's what we're looking for, I think, as a point to make.
Exactly. Smiling is the easiest thing. Show some teeth,
Yeah.
Show some teeth.
Yeah.
Make sure that people know that you're open, you're receptive. Approachable, exactly. So make sure you keep that in mind. It's the easiest thing. Be positive and smile, guys.
Yeah.
So point number 2 is maybe one of the most important ones when it comes to charisma. It's listen more than you talk. So one of the most important quotes that I remember from all of my life was when I was reading a book by Dale Carnegie called How to Win Friends and Influence People. And I may have mentioned this in a previous video. And in that book, he says something key. He says, be interested more than interesting. You see, people don't care about your story. It's as sad as it sounds, people want to talk about them. Especially if you're talking to entrepreneurs, they want to talk about their business, their accomplishments, what they're doing, what are their plans, how they're going to do this. And you, on the other hand, you just have to be a good listener and enable them and make them talk more about themselves. And when you do talk, never ever gossip about anyone. Yeah. If you are someone that gossips, you just killed I think maybe 90% of your charisma or any credibility you may have. Whether you're going to be talking bad about your competition, whether you're someone that you may have worked with in the past, anything it may be, never shit talk anyone in your life. This is something that charismatic people never do. A charismatic person will always find a diplomatic way to deliver a message.
And sometimes even clients directly, that before coming to you, they've met maybe 5 other people, who knows, 10 other people. And out of those 10, you may know half of them, because in our business, in our field, Everybody knows everybody in a way. And many times the client asks me, what do you think of that? What do you think of his proposal? What do you think of what he did? And at the end of the day, I've always made it a rule for myself never to talk bad. Whatever I personally thought, I can give my recommendations, but in a way that I'm not gonna put the other person down. By putting the other person down, you're putting yourself down.
Exactly. And even let's take aside the idea of entrepreneurship in your friend circle or anywhere you may be in university. There's always that person that has something bad to say about that other person. And that person, you just see how they stir up the pot. Now, that may be excusable in the world of, education where you are, but in the world of business, news travels fast. And if you're headlining in business because of gossiping, you're gonna go hit a wall very quickly. So I'd be very, very wary of that.
Be a good person, be a positive person. Like I said, don't talk shit about other people and already you'll be a step ahead.
Exactly. And don't forget, listen to people. Don't talk about yourself. If you had to put your conversation in a graph, whether it's with your mom, your friends, anyone, make sure you're talking 20% of the time and the 80% leave it to them and engage with them. Let them talk. People love talking about themselves, and that's a golden rule. You learn this, you're pretty much halfway there to mastering the art of communication. So trust me on this.
Point number 3, be present. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're having a conversation with somebody, potential clients, actual clients, anybody, and you're on your phone while they're talking to you, I mean, what more of a disrespectful thing you can do? I understand the phone is always there, it's a distraction, we're always busy, emails, texts, but if you're having a conversation with a client, with a colleague, with another entrepreneur, put your shit away, concentrate on that conversation, give it your full attention, and that person will feel much more engaged in the conversation just by doing that.
And more importantly, be empathetic to them. That means if they're going through a hard time, be empathetic. Look at them, mirror how they are feeling. You see, we're long away from the times where we thought that charisma was all about, standing tall and being a great leader. Charisma is simple. You just have to be mirroring the person that's in front of you, being, receptive, being on the same wavelength that someone that feels like they are a better version of themselves because you're around. Just be present, be there with them. Make sure that when they're talking to you, I know in the world of ADHD, everybody's having trouble focusing. Look in their eyes, listen to their story, so that you can mirror exactly how they feel. If they're having a tough time, make sure that you're not showing joy and excitement. Be someone that's there. I'm with you, and I'm gonna help you through this. Don't say this to them, but show them that you're non-verbal. That's what it says. I'm here for you. I'm gonna show you what it is. People feel very special, and if you make them feel very special, you'll win a lot of points.
And I like the fact that we spoke about that earlier, and we try to do that as much as we can. Level with that person. I mean, don't try to show off or don't try to do it too much. If that person is a new entrepreneur, don't go talk to that person saying, I've been 10 years, I do this, I have that. I mean, level to that person goes with, it's a kind of a thing of mirroring also, I think.
Exactly. So just be on the same wavelength of that person, bring them up. Praise. Praise is extremely important when it comes to charisma, because by praising someone and making them feel like their accomplishments are very good, trust me, you look 10 times better than anyone, because people tend to, like you said, they want to praise themselves. That's why I do this, and this is my qualities. But make people, feel like they have qualities that nobody recognizes. Like if someone, telling a girl at the bar that she's pretty, I know she knows she's pretty, but if you tell her a compliment that is exclusive to her that not a lot of people notice, trust me, you'll win so much points. This is, again, I'm going on a tangent here, but it helps a lot. In the world of humanity and people like to be praised for things that they could not control. You're so smart for thinking this. I agree with you on that point. These are things that you can tell someone that makes them feel like they're kings of the world. So make sure that you're present and you focus and you attend to their needs when they're talking to you. Point 4 is one of the easiest ones, but it sometimes, it goes a long way. Remember people's names. Again, I'm going to throw another reference to Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Dale Carnegie says that a person's favorite sound in the world is their name. That tells you a lot about people. People like to be called by their name. It makes the message look like it's tailor-fitted for that person specifically. If you call a person by their name, their attention is already there. Psychologically speaking, you've been called that name all of your life. And if you remember that person's name, that means already there you broke the frontier of, I know so many people, but now I know your name. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but have you ever,
I know what
crossed someone that remembered your name? Like, wow, they know my name.
Yeah.
It's a
For
crazy
me, it's
feeling.
crazy because, like, obviously within my clientele, I will not lie. Sometimes clients that I've met years and years and years and years ago, when I'm about to do my annual meetings, I'll go inside their file and I'll look at their kids' names, at stuff like that, and I'll bring it up during the meeting, and I see they're impressed that I remember every single thing about their kids' name, their birthday, where they were to school, stuff like that. So I mean, charismatic things that you can do are so easy and doesn't cost nothing, are simple as that. Remember people's name. And when people talk to you, or when you just met somebody for the first time, the difference between remembering the name and not remembering the name, it's that split second that you have to give the attention to the actual name. Because some people say, hi, my name is, nice to meet you, and they get brushed off by the conversation. Take the time to listen to the name, record the name in your brain, and it's as simple as that.
And also, more than just the name, think about little details. You said like remembering the kids' names, remembering dogs' names, birthdays, what they did. I know we're going again on a tangent here, but it can go a long way. And charisma is about tailoring your message to that person. And by the end of this video, you'll know that charisma is nothing about you. It's how you make other people feel. And other people feel special when you call out their name, or you remember their story.
It's human nature.
It's human nature. You feel just think about it this way. Imagine you met someone one time 3 months ago, and they come to you 3 months later and they tell you, how was your trip, Paris? You'll feel like, wow, that person, remembered it. It was important enough for them to store it in their mind and bring it back up to me 3 months later.
Point number 5, admit your failings. It's one of the most charismatic thing you can do, and admitting that you've done something wrong, or you've said something stupid, and being able to laugh about it instead of being all weird about it, is the difference between making a situation smooth or making a situation awkward for the other person.
So who's someone that we know that is extremely charismatic and is actually known for putting himself down in a very funny way? Let's think of Kevin Hart. We all think Kevin Hart is charismatic, and again, no, he's not charismatic because he stood tall and led a nation towards anything. He's charismatic because he knows how to put himself down and laugh about it. You think he's so humble, you're on the same level as him, he has the same problems as you, you face the same type of dilemmas in life, being, he often says he's short,
He's a great example, actually.
Great example because, it makes you like him more, because you're like, wow, he's not trying to show off. Kevin Hart has a lot more money than a lot of people, and he could actually be doing the opposite and being like, I'm a 5-star actor, I'm acting in big blockbuster movies, but instead he puts himself down and he laughs about it, and it actually goes to his advantage because he makes a bunch of money because of that. So that goes to say that people feel less intimidated by you as a leader, as a business owner, as anything as it may be, is if you're able to laugh at your failings, and use them to especially if you're teaching someone or you're coaching someone on how to do something, and you tell them, look, don't, like my first time cold calling was the worst experience in the world. I was kind of hoping that person wouldn't pick up the phone, and you laugh about it, or you say that you mumbled your words because you were so nervous. You automatically, if your boss is telling that to you, you feel, wow, like, okay, I feel
it's something normal. I mean, even today, even after so many years, and for the rest of your life, you'll have failings, obviously. It's how you deal with them. And if you're talking to somebody, or you're talking to a colleague or somebody you work with, and you're able to level with that person on those failings together, I mean, how much better can it get?
Exactly. So admit your failings, laugh about them, praise other people's accomplishments. Don't praise yours. Trust me, if you earned your role or you've earned your accomplishments, nobody needs to know. You need to know, and trust me, people know. You don't need to put it in their face. But put in their face their accomplishments, because people like to be reminded of that. Just like you'd like to be reminded of yours, just don't remind people of yours. So there you have it, folks. You now know the 5 ways you can be leading a nation to the promised land as a new charismatic leader. Jokes aside, I'm kidding. You're not going to do that. But you now know the 5 ways you could be a charismatic person to gain control of any relationship you have by making people feel very welcomed in your presence, by making people feel very proud and very happy to be in your presence. You see, charisma is and will always be a trait that gets confidence from people, whether your partners or suppliers. And forget about being born with charisma. I mean, yes, there are people that are born with charisma and they just stand there in front of people and you just feel like people are radiating again, next to them and around them. But it's okay. You are on the first step. The first step is realizing that you want to be charismatic, and you realize that charisma is something that's very important in business, and you can train it. We talked about exercising, being positive. We talked about, smiling. Remember people's names. These are very simple. Trust me, they go a long way in relationships and building, trust from people. So that being said, folks.
Yeah, and I love that everything we spoke about, it's things that you can do today. It's things that don't cost you nothing. So I mean, just go for it. So thanks again for watching. We really appreciate you guys again. We keep saying that on every video because we actually do. Please like, comment down below. Let us know what are you guys doing to be more charismatic. We'd like to know if there's different points we should talk about maybe in the next video, and subscribe to our channel.
And most of all, guys, hit the goddamn bell if you want to be notified of any future videos we may be making actually. Thank you.
Ciao.